What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Cut, and I'm back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. With Terence Crawford recent departure from welterweight division to the junior middleweight division of 154 pounds to solidify his legacy and furthermore add to his resume legacy as one of the greatest fighters to ever do it in this modern era of this generation, proving to the world that he is a generational talent. This is a guy, Terence Crawford, who may go in undisputed cool again. He's going to 154, meaning like he came all the way from 135. He's moved up 20 pounds. He moved up 20 pounds, 4 weight classes, to stamp his name in boxing history forever as one of the greatest fighters, put his face up on boxing Mount Rushmore. He gives these young fighters an opportunity of a lifetime to become a world champion. Brian Norman Jr. is coming off a great win a great knockout win over Giovanni Santillan. With Terence Crawford departure to 154, Terence Crawford then makes his belts vacate for the likes of Brian Norman Jr., who just became the WBO interim champion. So a unification is brewing between Brian Norman Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis. The question then becomes, will Jaron Boots Ennis duck this young gladiator and continue to fight tomato cans, mental health patients, and Uber drivers? Or will he actually get in there and mix it up with somebody who's actually going to give him some trouble, give him some resistance, actually put up a fight, not just come for a check? What I'm saying is, when Terence Crawford solidifies and stamped his name in boxing history even more on August 3rd, becoming a world champion, a unified champion in one fight, because I believe the WBO and the WBA belt is on the line. Become a world champion, a unified champion in one fight at 154. Stamp his name in boxing history forever. Claims his #1 pound-for-pound spot again. He's going to vacate his WBO belt. Brian Norman Jr. will be elevated from interim champion to full champion. A unification bout between Brian Norman Jr. and Jaron Boots Ennis is imminent and should definitely be next. But I think Jaron Ennis, like I said before, will duck this young gladiator. He'll duck this young gladiator to continue to chase the Uber drivers, the taxi cab drivers of the world, the Walmart employees. He'll try to chase those guys instead of actually fighting somebody that's actually going to come to fight, like a Brian Norman Jr. You know, that's the fight the fans want to see. I speak on behalf of all fans, not just myself, but all fans, that we're sick and tired of seeing Jaron Ennis fight guys on crutches, guys with the dude he's fighting, the dude Cody Crowley, bro. Cody Crowley literally said he's suffering from mental health issues. He says he was saying all kinds of stuff. I think that dude is not even mentally fit to fight. Like, how are they fighting this guy? The dude's just coming for a check. I hope he's not, though, so he can make Ennis look a little bit bad. But that is a clear cherry pick. But it is what it is. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm speaking on behalf of the entire boxing world. We want to see Jaron Ennis fight somebody, bro. We're tired of seeing this guy fight tomato cans, Uber drivers, Walmart employees. Like, where do we find these guys? He look on the list, he said, no, that's a tough fighter. He's going to give me a problem. He's going to give me problems. That's another tough fighter. I don't want him. Oh, that's another thing. Oh, Cody Crowley. No power and mental health issues. Perfect fight to make me look good. Yay! Man, get the freak out of here, bro. We can't get this dude a pass. And then he want to mention his name with the likes of Terence Crawford and say, yo, that's the fight I want. Like, what, bro? How you want that fight? But when we look at your resume, you're taking the least risk. You're fighting the tomato cans of the world. You fighting some guy Terence Crawford knocked out 20 years ago in freaking, what's his name? Thomas Delorme. Bud Crawford knocked that dude out 20 years ago, bro. I'm exaggerating, but he knocked that dude out a long time ago when that dude was a solid fighter and when Bud was smaller fighter. Bud was a smaller fighter too. A lot of people got to understand. Bud was a smaller fighter when he fought a prime Delorme. Delorme after that took multiple losses. He just took losses back to back losses. Honestly. And Jaron still found a way to cherry pick that dude and get that dude in the ring. He went in there and he destroyed that dude in one round. And people were like, oh, he shares a similar opponent with Terence Crawford. Thomas Delorme. And he knocked him out in one round. People don't know shit about boxing, bro. Thomas Delorme has had losses to like freaking Jesse Vargas or close fights with Jesse Vargas. Or did he lose to Jesse Vargas? But like he hasn't been good since Bud knocked his ass out. He hasn't been good. He's been getting beat back to back. If we check his record right now, he got like 6-7 losses, bro. Like he's just coming for a check. Everybody knows that Thomas Delorme is not the Thomas Delorme when he fought Terence Crawford. When they were in a lower weight class, they're in a higher weight class now. Crawford's is going up, Delorme's going down. A big difference. But anyway, we refuse to keep watching Jaron fight these scrubs. These dudes that nobody really want to see. I'm not interested in watching these mismatches, bro. I want to see the guy actually test himself. He's now with Eddie Hearn. They got the money. There is no reason they should be fighting a Cody Crowley if Eddie really got the bag like he said he do. And Jaron, his first homecoming fight, you could have offered like a Keith Thurman claiming he's injured. You could have offered Danny Garcia some money. Philly versus Philly, homecoming. Passing of the torch. Give Danny Garcia 5 to 10 mil. He would have took that fight. Danny would have took that fight if you gave that man 5 to 10 mil for Jaron Ennis. Why not? Give that kid the exposure he needs. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic too much. But a fight is brewing between Jaron Boots Ennis and the young 23-year-old Brian Norman Jr. Like I said, I think Boots will duck this young Gladiator, try to look for an easy fight instead of going into a unification fight with Brian Norman Jr. This is the only fight that makes sense. After Boots gets past his opponent, Cody Crowley, which he should, because Cody Crowley shouldn't be on his level if he claims he's that good. But after he gets past him, that's the only fight that makes sense, guys. We don't want to see any other fights. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want to see any other fights. That's the only fight that makes sense, honestly. If Jaron Ennis fights any more tomato cans and any more Uber drivers, I promise you guys, I will never talk about Jaron Ennis on this channel again. I'm sick of this shit. Then he claims that he wants to be one of the best fighters in the world. He wants to become undisputed. Well, he literally wants to do everything Terence Crawford is doing because he idolized the man. Like, he even went as far as getting a man haircut, the man hairstyle. He want to dress like the man. He want to wear chains like Terence Crawford. He want to look like Terence Crawford. Like, what, bro? You want to look like this guy so bad? He even went as far as saying, yo, I want to be undisputed in this weight class, in that weight class, in that weight class. Why? Because Terence Crawford did it? Nobody was talking about being undisputed until Terence Crawford did it. Now he did it. Now he's your idol, right? But when you do interview, you try to disrespect the man in your interviews. But then in the same interviews, you want to do what he did. So we can give you credit for it, but we shouldn't give Bud credit for it. These dudes are entitled. These new age dudes are entitled. Jaron Ennis is one of them. He's an entitled guy. Like Terence Crawford offered that man a fight on BLK Prime. Terence Crawford offered that man Jaron Ennis a fight on BLK Prime. Jaron Ennis says no. Come fight me on Showtime. How the champion off the number one pound for pound fighter and the world champion offer you a fight on a network and you say no, you come fight on my network. It shows that Jaron Ennis isn't as hungry as a lot of people said he was, and he has a battery in his back. And like, some boxing fans are just pushing narratives. They don't know shit about boxing. They literally don't know shit about boxing. They said Crawford ducked Ennis. Why would Crawford duck somebody who's not on his level? It makes absolutely no sense. There's no money there to fight Ennis. If the money was there, Crawford would have been knocked Ennis out cold. But the money's not there. That's why the fight's not happening. And Terence Crawford already offered a man to fight and he turned it down. So if I offer you a fight and you turn it down, why should I even entertain you anymore? At this point, you just clout chasing me. And that's what Ennis and his team are doing. They're clout chasing, attaching their name to Bud with actually no intentions of fighting Bud. As soon as they sign the Matchroom Boxing, we like, okay, now we about to get the Terence Crawford versus Ennis fight. I see an interview from Jaron and his team talk about we want to make our own legacy. If you want to make your own freaking legacy, fight Brian Norman Jr. next for a unification fight after you defend your belt against Cody Crowley. Because Brian Norman Jr. is a young 23-year-old and he's a stud. You should fight him next. Take less money and fight Brian Norman Jr. Jaron Boots Ennis needs to humble himself, be quiet, shut up, take less money, and fight Brian Norman Jr. But I doubt he'll want to fight that kid. The kid is too risky, too dangerous for him. Jaron Ennis will duck that young gladiator to look for another Uber driver, and we're going to be right here again acting like that shit didn't happen. And then he's going to say, the only reason I'm fighting this guy is because everybody's ducking me. Yeah, tell that to somebody who believes that bullshit. Nobody believes that. Why would people be ducking you? You just got exposed by Karen. Who's going to duck somebody that gets exposed by Karen, a guy who's from overseas we never really heard of, and the first time we heard of this guy is against you, and you can't even knock this dude out. You can't even cut off the ring. You let this dude go 12 rounds and made you look bad. Yeah, some boxing fans are saying, he won every single round. Against who? Against a freaking nobody. Somebody nobody knows of. And you want to congratulate him for winning the fight? Oh, he won every round. Against who, bro? Nobody know who the freak Karen was. So don't give me that bullshit talking about he won every round. I'm not trying to hear that. Anyway, he's going to duck that young gladiator, Brian Norman Jr. But I will go on record and say this, though. Just because I say he's going to duck the young gladiator, Brian Norman Jr., it's not me saying Brian Norman Jr. is going to beat Boots. I never said that. Styles make fights. I'm a boxing fan first. I like to consider myself a pugilist to the sport. So I'm not going to sit here and say Jaron Ennis loses to Brian Norman Jr. I'm just saying he'll avoid that fight because it's a tough fight. It's your boy No Credit, and I'm out.